Hey everyone, my name's Rob and welcome back to my channel. So I previously did a video talking about my 5 easy collector plants, and I thought I'd do a video talking about my 5 most difficult collector plants. Every plant collector has plants in their collection that aren't doing the best and that they struggle with, and I am no exception to that. I do tend to stray away from plants that are known to be difficult, so it's not something that I deal with regularly. I tend to gravitate towards plants that are a little bit on the easier end of the spectrum, purely because I don't have time for that in my life, and I'd rather look after stuff that's easy, which is why I have so many philodendrons. But yeah, I did talk about the care for these plants, or the care that I just give most of my plants in general. They just all get the same conditions, basically. I don't have a specialized cabinet for more difficult plants. I just have the humidifier going to keep the humidity at about 70-ish%. Sometimes it goes higher than I intend it to, but yeah, it's usually around 65 to 70% humidity in here, and light is mostly natural. I've actually just gotten 2 grow lights because there are some dark spots in the room, and I decided that some of the plants really do actually need the extra light. Obviously, I will be talking about the care I give these plants, but please don't take it as gospel because they're the ones that are difficult for me, so clearly something's not going right. But yeah, let's get started. This is my Anthurium Papillilaminum hybrid. Say that 10 times fast. Papillilaminum hybrid, Papillilaminum hybrid, the Papillilaminum... It doesn't work. So I purchased this plant because the Papillilaminum is known to be a resilient, easy plant Anthurium, but this is a hybrid, so it must be hybridized with something that's a little bit more difficult, because it was perfect when I got it from Canadian Rare Plants, and it came perfect, like dark leaves, no issues with yellowing and all that, but then few days in my apartment and it just started getting these yellow bits on it. And look, I think it's just adaptation, to be honest. It probably is something that requires higher humidity than I'm providing. So we're getting all these, like, if you can look, all that yellowing around the edges. That's generally, I don't know, like, it's generally watering or humidity. I think it's humidity because I haven't let it dry out completely, so I don't think it could be. And it's also like a dryish kind of thing. I was wondering whether it was fungal, but I don't think so, because I don't spray things, and I've never really had fungal issues, so I don't know. But we are getting a new leaf just over here. I don't know if you can see that. And it is so tiny and cute. I think it's going to be tiny purely because it's adapting to my conditions, and so it's just going to be small because it's getting used to my conditions. It's got a ridiculous root system as well. Like, it's like the roots are kind of tied in there. I wonder if it's coming out. No, okay. But I do know that the roots, like, I had to squeeze them in this pot, basically, because I downsized it a bit. Not size-wise, but, like, lengthwise, because this pot only really sits like that, really. And I like to keep a little bit of water in the bottom of that to give it a bit more moisture, because they like humidity, and the roots will like it. Anthurium leaves do expand as they grow, so they pop out and then they expand as they come out. So it's still, like, this little guy's still got a little bit of a way to go. So I actually think this one might be turning a corner. It's also in probably like the darkest part of the room, so that's where I've put like a new grow light to provide extra light for it, to give it some more growth. But I think it's adapted well. Like, these bits have stopped expanding. I've made peace with the fact that they're just not going to be perfect leaves. But if I get 2 more new leaves, I will chop these leaves off because they're not pretty. But yeah, I think it's adapting, so it might not be a difficult one, for a while. It does get about 65 to 70% humidity, sometimes higher if I go oopsies and leave the humidifier run for too long, and I do have a fan in the room that promotes air circulation. When I did talk about using moisture meters because I'm not good with using my finger to tell if something's moist. I do water this when it hits about 4 on average around the plant, and I stick the moisture meter all the way down because the roots are really packed in there, so I know that the roots go all the way down. Yeah. Other than that, look, I try not to stress over these plants. I find that the more you stress over plants, the more they tend to suffer. So, and because you do stupid things, like you pick it out and check roots and you just poke it and it's like, they just leave them. Leave plants alone. But yeah, that is my Anthurium Papillilaminum hybrid. Ooh, I said it fast. This is Anthurium Silver Blush, and I absolutely love this plant. People list it as Anthurium Crystallinaum'Silver Blush, so I don't know whether it's like a cultivar of crystallinum or, you know, whatever. I bought this as a... Oh. I bought this at like a garage sale that We Pot Plants was having. I bought it at the same time I bought my Syngonium Milk Confetti and my Philodendron Dean McDowell, which are in my previous video actually, in my 5 easy rare plant. My brain's not working today. In my 5 easy rare plants video. And this is probably a more difficult one. I've heard different accounts on whether this plant's easy or not. So crystallinums are meant to be easy, but this one's meant to be a little bit tougher. This was like I bought it on a whim. I didn't even know what it was, and then I was like, oh, and then I bought it, and then I was like, oh. Some people say it's tough, and some people say it's easy. So I don't know. It didn't have a great root system when I got it. It had 3 leaves. I wish I took a picture. I need to start taking pictures of plants when I buy them. But I can see that roots are like growing out, so it's now quite solidified in there. It had very little roots when I bought it, so that was a bit. I mean, it's probably, you know, struggling because of that. It was in a much smaller pot. I potted it up because I wanted it on the wall, and so I think it dropped the leaf because it had to focus attention on growing roots rather than, you know, growing leaves. I still don't have a new growth point on it. I don't think, but yeah. So it's one that I think it's tough purely because it didn't have many roots, so I'm trying to grow the roots out, and so I can't tell when it's going to grow, basically, because I'm not willing to pull this out of the pot. I did pull it out of the pot a few weeks ago and it was growing new roots, so that's good, and now I'm just going to leave it, because the more you disturb the plant, the more it's not going to, you know, grow. Same thing with most of my anthuriums. I use my moisture meter and I water it when the moisture meter hits 4 on average around the pot. Sometimes you have spots where it's really high. Like I've noticed with some plants, like I try and get right into the root system purely because like around it will be like 3, and then right under the roots is like 7. So you want to make sure, and look, obviously you can sometimes tell just by looking at it, and you know, if it's light, this is a bit heavy, so definitely doesn't need watering. I watered it 2 days ago. But yeah, so I mean, we don't have much going on with this. We do have new roots in there. I don't know if I can show you if you see that new root growing out there. So that's just popped out, so that's nice. That's a positive. Probably tells me there's a new growth point that's about to come out, please. But yeah, so like, I mean, other than that old leaf that dropped off when I repotted it, it's only got like these like slightly brown tips. I do think that she grows them in like a greenhouse situation. So anything that I buy from a lot of places, they are going to go through an adaptation process. So I'm not stressed about that. But I mean, this leaf doesn't have much like yellowing or browning going on. Ugh, I'm so bad at knowing which angle to go. But yeah, there. It has a little bit of like, you can see, suffered from like reduced humidity there. But other than that, not terrible. I think it's going to be a slow grower for me, unfortunately. It's in the same spot that the Papillilaminum hybrid is, so I think the additional grow light's going to help, because everything in that part of the room has kind of like been a bit stagnant. So I think it's a light thing, because I'm giving them the humidity, and then the watering's not an issue because the leaves are not changing. So fingers crossed that the grow light provides more growth. But I mean, like, for a difficult plant that that's not going great, it's not doing too bad, is it? Like, yeah. So this is my Monstera Peru. Yeah, I have a problem with this plant. I think I'm gonna sell it or try and give it to someone. This is one of the first plants I bought when I moved to Canada in March, and it's done nothing. And I've spoken about this in my first video ever, where I talked about starting my collection again. I have a problem with this plant because everyone says it's super easy, it grows super quick, doesn't need anything from you, and that's been such a big ass lie. When I got it, it had let me go here. It had these two leaves here, and then it had these two leaves here. These two, okay? In March, it grew this leaf after I bought it home, and then proceeded to do nothing for March, April, May, June, July. For 4 months. 4 months did nothing. And then now has put out this leaf. And that is it. That's all it's done. Nothing whatsoever after that. This is not even growing. This one here. I almost spilled water everywhere, so just yeah. I don't know. It's just really frustrating because I can see that each new leaf is bigger, but it's also just not really growing very much, and like we're also coming out of summer soon, so I don't know. It's in pond, which it likes, and there's roots coming out of the bottom, so I know the roots are fine. I just don't know what it wants from me. I've moved it to a brighter spot, hoping that it's a light issue, because it can't be humidity, and it can't be watering, because it's in semi-hydro. So, I don't know. If someone could tell me, if someone's good at this, and watches this video and knows how to look after this, and get it to grow, can you please tell me? Because my husband has a meeting next door, so you're gonna have some mumbling here and there. But, yes, if anyone can tell me how to look after this thing properly, please help me. This one's annoying, guys. This is a Nepenthes, and I have a few Nepenthes. I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3. I have one more coming in the mail, actually, which we'll talk about when I get it. It's not doing so good. It came like this, though. So, not my fault. This is Nepenthes SP number 1 Sumatra Alata. And the pictures on this look really cool on the website. I don't know if I can get a picture of it though. I'll put a picture up of what it looked like when I got it. So it wasn't happy anyway, and now it's just like really not happy. And I have done nothing to it. I've just like kept the moss moist, basically. But I'll show you what it looks like now, because it's a little bit sad. I'm gonna take it out of there. So it came in this little Tupperware with moss around it to keep the humidity up. So I've kept that moist as well, and I've kept it in there. But like, this is now what it looks like. All crispy. Yeah, there's a tiny bit of green there if you look. Yeah, I'm hoping that means it's gonna grow. I don't know, it's all crispy. It's just gotten crispier and crispier, and its roots are fine. Like, I know, because the roots go all the way down there, and it's like, it's quite good for the size it is. So, I don't know. It's just frustrating because other Nepenthes that I haven't had trouble with, because my humidity is quite good. The reason why I got into getting Nepenthes and, Venus flytraps and all that, I have a Venus flytrap, and my Drosera is because I don't know, I got like a batch of soil that seemed to have fungus gnats in it, and I had like this ridiculous infestation of fungus gnats. It was like I'd open the door to my plant room, and it would just be like fungus gnats would just attack you. It was just like, and like, I know fungus gnats are not bad, like they don't mean, I guess it means the soil's healthy, I don't know, but they don't damage anything, but they're just so annoying, and it's just gross. So the Nepenthes and the Venus flytraps and the Drosera have helped with the fungus gnats, but now I'm just annoyed with this. And I emailed the seller. I was like, look, I didn't ask for a refund. I'd never do that with plants. I've never done that. I basically emailed them and was like, they were really nice, by the way, at the start. And I sent them an email because I had to change my delivery date because I was going to be in Toronto. And I emailed them and I told them, like, look, this plant was, like, it was just a little bit when I got it. Can you give me some tips on how to make it happy? That was like a week ago and they have not responded. So I sent them a picture of it too. So I don't know. Basically what I'm doing now is I'm keeping it next to the humidifier, and then overnight I'm putting the top on the Tupperware over to give it some more humidity overnight to see if it helps with adaptation. I mean, there's still a bit of green, so maybe it will keep growing. If this thing browns up, I'll probably keep like a stump of it, if just in case, because you never know. Maybe it just needs to like adapt to my environment and then be fine. But yeah, it's really annoying because it's such a nice plant, and it was cute when I got it. Didn't have pictures though, unfortunately. Oh, maybe I'll show you the one that I got when that I got it with actually. So this is Nepenthes singulana ampullera, and this one's doing well. It's growing and it's got a few pictures. So see, I know how to look after them. So please don't judge me based on the other one, because this one's fine. Might need a water tomorrow, actually. But yeah, that one's doing well. And look, that's so cute. Cute. It's got fuzzy leaves too, so that's pretty cool. But yeah. Oh, now you get a bonus plant in this video. But yeah. So I spoke about this in my video about plants that I'm killing. And I mentioned that I thought that every plant except for the Regal Shield that I did kill was going to recover. And yeah. Okay. Well, come on in. Come on. Yes? You good there? Yeah? Okay. You wanna say hello? Come. Okay. If you've seen any of my videos, you know Lionel likes to invade and, be part of everything. So here he is, invading. He must be around people at all times. Yeah? Do you want to talk about this plant with me? Okay, cool. Yeah, shall we? Okay. So this is my Philodendron Nangarintense. I was convinced it would bounce back. And the roots are still there. So I've taken it out, I've repotted it, I've given it like mycorrhizal fungi and all that, and like the roots are there. So it's not rotted away, it's just a stump, and I'm giving it what it needs. So watering as needed, humidity, light, and I guess we're just gonna have to see. It's literally just, dirt everywhere. This is what happens when you try to do this. But yeah, okay, so it's just a stump, basically, that's it. That is my Nangarintense. This plant has given me so much trauma, guys, because I owned one in Australia. That one did exactly the same thing, and eventually I put it in water and that just rotted away, so I didn't do that with this. And this one did the exact same thing after I repotted it. So I'm literally just experiencing like deja vu, basically. And Lionel likes it. Hello, do you like the Nangarintense? Do you like the Nangarintense? Yes. Yeah, can someone tell me? Because I've, like, every care guide says it's easy. And then this happens to me every time I have this plant. And I really don't want to buy another one. And you can, like, the roots are fine. So if I'm just going to tug on it. If I tug on it, it's nice and solid and rooted in there. It's just not doing anything. So, and it's been like everything else in that video about like me killing plants has recovered. Other than the Regal Shield, which I replaced. Everything else has recovered, except for this thing. So if someone can tell me why they do this, I would absolutely appreciate it. It has a great root system. Like, it's lost 0 roots. All the roots are fine. Not rotted away, nice and solid. They are wet. They are the color they're meant to be. Nangarintenses have like pinkish roots. They're fine. So, I don't know. Lionel's telling me to throw it away. Right, Lionel? Yeah, you want me to throw it away? Yeah, okay, he wants to go down now. Okay, cool. Yeah. But yeah, so if anyone can tell me why this Nangarintense is doing that, or maybe I just have to not get it, and just like maybe it should just be one of those plants I just never keep. But we'll see. Okay, you go down. Bye. But yeah, so that's my Nangarintense. So those were my 5 most difficult collector plants. Those are, okay. Lionel wants to go outside now. There you go. Those were my 5 most difficult collector plants. I think they're the only ones in my collection that are struggling right now. I do have my obifolia that like dried out when I was away in Toronto for 5 days, but it's growing now, so that's fine. But yeah, so don't do what I do. Well, actually, like, I don't do anything bad with them. I don't know. If anyone can tell me what's going on with them, great, I'll take advice. But other than that, if you liked my video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.